Welcome back to another exciting edition of the Renatus J.A.M. My name is Jay Stark.
And I'm Matt Snyder.
Welcome to the call, Matt Snyder.
Thank you.
And this is the Renatus J.A.M. We are seriously excited this week for not only the person that we're going to be highlighting, but also some of the information that we're going to be sharing. So, Matthew, tell me a little bit about the intensive coming up this Saturday.
That there will be an intensive this Saturday. There will be instructors that you all want to hear from, like Mark Kohler.
Oh, Mark Kohler.
Who's your favorite?
Christian George.
we have Christian George sitting behind the camera right now. That was one of those, like, I set a landmine over there and Jay stepped around it.
That's right. I was not coerced in any way, shape, or form to give that answer. No, you know what? The Prophets, while it has been the brainchild of Bob Snyder, was actually really put together by Christian. So Christian, hats off, man.
Absolutely.
And this Saturday is going to be an amazing opportunity for everybody to take part. Not just people that own the Prophets. This is open to everybody.
Yep.
So how do people get onto this bad boy?
Well, they're going to have some type of access to Helios, right? Do we have a link or anything that's going out? I don't know if there's like a way for...
So here's how we do it. You ready for this?
I'm ready.
All right. You need to go into Helios, go to the calendar, and then you'll see the intensive on there. Register yourself.
Mm-hmm.
After you're registered, you can register your guests on the same calendar event, and then check out, and it's free. It's all that.
Great. Is there like a link or something that you're going to send to them?
Here's what happens. We need all of the guests to then register themselves. So they'll get an email as soon as they register or you register. An email is going to go out to those individuals that's going to give them some step-by-step instructions. But I'm sharing with ICMs, I'm sharing with you,
right? Because
I want everybody to know what's in the email.
What happens when they get that email?
So here's the deal. They're going to be instructed that they need to log into Helios. Okay. And if they've never done that before, that means that they're going to have to set up their password.
Yep.
After their password's been created, they can go in at any time. Now, I strongly advise you to do this before Saturday.
Oh, please. Yes, before Saturday morning.
Right.
Yeah.
So then they're going to be able to go into Helios, and then under education, they'll be able to click live education. Yep. And they'll be able to see the broadcast there.
Sweet. That'll be fantastic.
They have to be registered.
Yeah.
And they have to be logged into Helios.
Well, they have to get the email. Then they need to log into to Helios. If they don't have a login, they've got to create their password.
Right.
Yep. Okay. And then get in and education, then live.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah.
And what time are we getting started on Saturday?
It's 8 a.m., right? Or 9 a.m.?
9 a.m.
So, okay.
Mountain time.
Well, yeah. It's 8 a.m. somewhere. California.
It's 5 p.m. somewhere. That's where I've heard that somewhere. Anyway.
9 a.m. Mountain time, not California time. I said California. I'm going to throw everybody off.
Right? California is not even a time zone, Matthew.
Ask them about it. I don't know. That's what they tell me. I don't know.
All right. So here we go. 9 a.m. is when everything is going to get kicked off. We're going to have all of the Prophets instructors presenting a little piece of why their class absolutely rocks. So you're going to get like the Reader's Digest version of some of the information in their class. Not all of it. It's going to be like a kind of an in-depth preview of their class. But this is the perfect opportunity for all ICMs, all education holders to get on the intensive, to not only enjoy what they're hearing, but then share it with everybody. Share it with your neighbor. Share it with your other people that you associate with.
All your friends.
All your friends, right?
Yeah,
your friends.
All your friends.
Yes, share it with your friends.
Call your mom. Come on.
So share it with everybody. What I would love to see is for us to have 10,000 people on the call.
Yep.
I don't think that's an unrealistic number.
No. Especially like after nationals and what we saw there. Gosh, everybody brings a few people. Yeah, we can hit the 10K
let's kill
mark.
this. This is going to be a phenomenal time for people to invest in themselves, to learn all about what the Profits is and all of the amazing content that's been created for Renatus and for each one of us.
So how big of a chunk is each instructor going to get?
Oh man. You know? Well, there's 7 instructors, 9 classes, 45 minutes.
Yep. Okay.
Christian's giving me the fingers.
We're getting answers over here. Well, this is good though, because
more than one finger. I saw that.
And they're going to those 45 minutes. They're going to give a piece of their class, right?
Yeah, buddy.
So this is not a sales pitch. This is education.
Yes.
So bring people.
Bring everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody, I mean, that whole list. You remember that list that Bob went through at the national conference when he said, you know who needs profits? Doctors, salesmen, mechanics, business owners,
everyone.
Employees, nurses, doctors. I mean, he went through a list of like every occupation I've ever heard of and just basically said, these are the people that need profits. So if you've enjoyed profits or if you've wanted to learn more about what profits is, if you enjoy getting educated and making progress in your life, if you find value in what Renatus is and want to share that with other people, this is the perfect opportunity. Don't miss out.
And it's easy. You don't even have to put a butt in a seat. You just got to get them online in the comfort of their own home.
At 9 a.m. Mountain Time.
Yes, Mountain Time.
AKA
AKA Utah time. I mean, other states share it, but you know, it's Utah. I'm just kidding.
Before we get too carried away. All right. So make sure that you're online this Saturday morning. It's going to be phenomenal. And if you can't be there right at Saturday or right at 9 a.m., join whenever you can because the content will continue. Now, this is a broadcast. This is not something that is necessarily going to be reproduced inside of Helios. So if you miss this opportunity, you may miss it forever. So make sure that you get online, make sure that you enjoy, and make sure that you share it with everybody that you care about. Because if you love Renatus, they can too. Or if you've benefited from Renatus, they can too. Or if Renatus is worthwhile, it is for them too. It doesn't matter. Get everybody on board, right?
Agreed.
Yep. All right.
I concur.
But do you concur? Sorry. All right. So here's what we're going to do. I want to take the rest of the time that we have today, and I want to introduce the Director of Finance for Renatus, none other than our very own Mr. Danny Robbins. I always expect like a clap, no, like an applause track. There we are. Yes.
There we go. We got it.
Danny, welcome to the podcast.
Hey, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Dude, you are among the elite few that get to be featured on the Renatus J.A.M. You're welcome.
How does it feel?
I feel so special. Thank you, Jay.
Your certificate is in the mail.
In the mail. Right. So Danny, let me ask you, just give us a little bit of a rundown of your experience before you came to Renatus. I know a lot of people have probably heard from you now at the national conference, at regionals and different things, but for those people that haven't had a chance to get introduced to you, tell us a little bit about your experience.
So before Renatus, I was at another company. Really just, it's kind of a simple experience or a simple timeline because I've spent all my career before Renatus at one company. And it was a security company. I started out when I was, how old was I? 21. And it was a summer job that I started out as a technician. And we'd go out for the summer and follow door-to-door sales reps around. And as a technician, we'd go in behind them and install these security systems. I did that for one summer. And while going through, since I was in school at the time, I decided, you know what, this is a really good opportunity to work during the summers. And hopefully, well, the idea was to work so hard during the summers and make it enough that I don't have to work during the year. It's a nice face.
You're welcome. Thank you.
So where was I? So I decided I was going to keep doing this every summer.
Right.
And that first summer, I became what they call an operations manager, where you run the whole office. And this was a small company. So at the time, an operations manager was everything operations. I was customer service. I was tech support. I was a manager to my technicians. I was.
Gotcha.
Go ahead.
So how long were you an ops manager then for this team?
For 8 years.
8 years.
I 8 years. Basically, that was how long it took me to finish school.
Are you a doctor?
So
Sorry.
I'm a doctor.
He just got his doctorate in security systems.
Sorry, Daniel. Oh man. All right. So it took you 8 years, and you were able to finish. Aaron, did you have a thought?
Well, just let everybody know. You guys are all brothers-in-law, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, we just.
I know, but this it's you guys are trying to hold it together, and it's awesome. It's you're trying to be professional, but you guys all hang out together.
Yeah,
and that was all. It was fun.
All right,
Sorry, Danny.
so-
Go ahead.
We suck at
Danny-
being professional.
Danny comes from good stock, and he happened to have two very attractive sisters. I married the older of the two. Matt married the younger of the two.
Yep.
So we are all. Is it technically brothers-in-law, or is it brother-in-laws?
I don't know.
It's brothers-in-law. Like
Is it?
Brothers-in-law.
Because that's kind
Okay.
of my title. I'm a brother-in-law.
yeah.
Yeah.
So if I had more than one,
It's brothers plural. Several brothers that are all in-laws. So brothers-in-law.
brethren-in-law.
Brother-in-law.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sorry, Danny. I'm sorry, man. I'll cut all this out. I'm sorry.
You don't have.
You can't. It's live. I'm watching it happen right now.
I have a time machine. I can do it.
Nice. So anyway, yes, Danny, I am very proud to be your brother-in-law. So tell me about what are some of the key things that you feel have benefited you previous to Renatus in Renatus? Things that you've learned previous, or things that you've been able to do that are now benefiting you in Renatus.
So things that that are benefiting me now. So going back to the company that I first started out with as a technician for 8 years. I didn't finish that story, by the way. I was a technician for 8 years, and then I hired onto their corporate in a program manager capacity, a tech performance capacity. There's more to that. I did compensation, and I worked with finance and a whole plethora of departments to build the compensation plan for their nationwide field of techs. So that was my experience leading up to Renatus. But I think one thing that really I think was good for me was I hired onto the company when it was literally, I don't know, their corporate couldn't have been more than 20, 30 people. And the sales organization was probably close to 1 to 200 max.
Wait. Yeah, you mean corporate.
And I think, what was that, Matt?
So that was you're 20 to 30 people at corporate, and then just a couple hundred salespeople, and that was the entire company back then? Guess I should look at the camera. I'm looking at the screen.
Yeah, you should definitely look at the camera.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this is in your previous work experience.
Right. And so that's why I think the experience was really good for me, because we didn't really it was kind of the Wild West out in the field, where I was as the operations manager. I did everything. There was not much support from corporate, but it had a really small feel to it. And I got to touch a lot of different areas that normally in a larger company you wouldn't be able to.
Gotcha.
And so I here as the director of finance, you can wear a lot of hats, and I know that you guys are also familiar with what it's like to wear a lot of hats, because you do too. And Matt wears a lot of Renatus hats.
I have lots of
I don't have as many
RenatusStore.com.
Renatus hats.
RenatusStore.com, everybody.
Shameless plug.
Yeah, buy your hat. Be cool. Be cool like me and get a hat. Mine just covers my balding head.
Yeah, and I'm
It's all
I'm
good.
past the point
It
of caring.
happens. It happens to the best of us. So,
No, it doesn't.
well, unless you're Jay and just
Matt stole.
It's got
or
locks
Jay
of
stole
love.
all of our hair.
yeah,
You know
no
what?
Jay has
kidding,
all of our
right?
hair.
What's
I
going
think
on?
I have more hair than the three of you combined.
Oh,
think he
easily.
does.
Easily.
Oh man! All right, so so Dano,
It's just because I'm so smart and my huge brain keeps
What-
making my skull expand and my hair fall out.
yeah, I love it. Every bald guy has jokes about baldness.
Uh-huh.
You've got plenty of hair. Whatever. Anyway, so
It's not that there's plenty now. It's that it's going in that direction.
Gotcha.
Right? It's going the wrong direction.
The wrong
and how many more years? Anyways.
you want to get hairier?
Yeah.
That's the right direction.
Yeah. Only on the top of my head.
Okay.
All right.
I'm sorry. This is really taking a left turn, Matthew.
This is what you do. This is what happens when you work with family.
So Danny, tell me a little bit about what attracted you to Renatus. I mean, outside of but what
Us.
attracted you to Renatus?
So anyone that is familiar with my previous job, it was I rode the train, and it was 2.5 hours away,
Oh,
basically each way, and we decided we didn't want to live there
Was that
in the area,
uphill?
and so I decided to commute. And
I'm sorry. It just sounds better if you say 2.5 hours uphill both ways in the snow. And I did it too, actually. So just little known fact.
oh man.
I used to ride the train with Danny to the same place of work. So, and it was uphill both ways. So just keep going.
Dano,
Danny,
You know what?
I'll mute these guys for you, buddy. Okay.
Everybody's
but
got
so,
a.
you know what? I can barely hear Matt.
Oh, there we
shoot.
go. All right.
Okay.
Okay. That's why he's not laughing. This is awesome.
The blank looks. I
So-
just thought it was because of what I was saying, like it normally is. Okay. All right. Go, Dano.
So
So what-
you were just talking
yeah.
about what attracted you to Renatus, that you had a long way to commute
yeah.
before.
So this was I started to be open to something else, and the commute was a must-have. And when this came along, I think Jay, you may have been the first one to bring it up. And it was a great opportunity. I mean, I don't need to talk up the company or the people that work here. But it was all very attractive. The position, with my experience, the background, potential, not to mention Bob at the top. It seemed like a really, really good opportunity, and I haven't regretted it. It's been great.
That's awesome. So tell me a little bit. You've been with us right around 2 years now, right?
Yeah, almost.
Gotcha.
Coming up next month.
So what kind of progress have you seen in the corporate office with the corporate team? What kind of developments have you seen since you started until now? What kind of transition has happened?
Well, I think in my time, we've been working on Helios from before I started up until now. It's been the big kind of the big deal that we've all been focused on to push the company forward. And I think just we've released Helios now, and it's changed my life dramatically in terms of what I do day to day. It's been really good. The reporting on our finances is improved, and as with any software release, we've got things we need to iron out with it. But it's been a huge improvement, and I think the framework is going to be able to carry us forward for quite a while. So super excited about that and what it's going to do for us.
Nice. And so how do you, From your perspective, how does the future of Renatus look, especially now that we're looking at the international expansion, looking at not only, profits, but the ability to sell profits internationally? How does that look from your perspective?
That's a good question. To take a company from a private company, nonetheless, from just tier operations in the States to an international outfit, is a pretty big deal. So when you say what does it look like from my perspective, it looks overwhelming. If you look at the whole picture, and I'm sure we'll break it down to little pieces, and steps to get us there. But there's a lot of work. Um, but I have no doubt that we'll be able to get there, under Bob's vision and where he wants to take us.
Right on. So what has been any of the biggest learning moments for you since you've been with Renatus? Has there been any experience that really kind of stands out as, yeah, this is when I really realized that I was in the right place, that Renatus really is as amazing as I was hoping it was? Have you had that moment since you've been here?
So I've had a few I've had a few of those moments. The one that comes to mind first was actually, at the national conference, of 2019. Um, just being able to get out and meet the community, and the people, and talk to them and learn of their experiences and what they're doing and their goals and everything. I think, being able to meet them, was a big eye opener. And in particular, there was one fellow that I ran into and had a really good conversation. He had come out from New York and was new to the company, but we were able we had a little 5-10 minute exchange where I was able to share about myself and what I was doing, and he shared about himself. And I think when you understand, and this is the same kind of experience that I had or a similar experience that I had at my previous company, when you understand what you're doing for people, how what you do blesses their lives, it means a great deal more. And so that's to me when it became real, and I could see what we're doing, is blessing their lives, how it's blessing them, and giving them a platform to raise up, and and find success in their life. That's when it kind of became real to me. The office is awesome and is nice, but it doesn't give you the you don't get um, the same feeling or understanding of what you're doing until you meet the field.
Dude,
That was great.
I couldn't agree with you more. Matt, how many times have we heard that?
Over and over and over again, with especially with nationals, head to the heart, but you get to know the people, and that's where it becomes real. And that's where I feel like people really, especially people who work here at corporate, I hear that all the time. That's when they really invest in Renatus.
Yeah, being able to see that, the influence and effect that you have on the lives of other people that you may have never met.
Right.
I'll never forget, having somebody come up to me and say, "Jay, you've changed my life." And I said, "I'm really sorry. What's your name?" You know what I mean? It was just that experience. But truly, the national conference and a lot of Renatus gatherings, the regional as well. It's where Renatus goes from your head to your heart.
Yep.
Where it stops being just a good idea and starts being something that you're truly passionate about.
It becomes real, like palpable, where you can see the effects. Because on a day-to-day basis, we're all just working with each other, and you just don't see it. But
so, Danny, are you trying to say that the 2020 National Conference didn't have quite the same effect on you?
I would agree with that statement. Yes.
No.
I was looking forward to it.
Yeah.
So, no, it's inspiring, to get out and meet the people, and it makes me want to work harder, to provide the best service, best product that we can for them.
I guess we should have clarified right at the beginning, Danny, and I apologize. A lot of people may not know that as the director of finance that you have several responsibilities that you oversee that directly impact every single ICM in the company. What are a few of your responsibilities? I should have asked you that at the very beginning. I totally didn't even think about it.
So what I usually tell people, just in a nutshell, is, and you can imagine anything that has to do with money, or of any, wherever it's coming in or going out, kind of flows through me, right? And so for the field, the most important job that I do is commissions. I pay the field, and we put in a lot of time. I put in a lot of time to make sure that that's as accurate as possible, and that no one's getting shortchanged. And it's important to me, because it's important to them, that it's accurate, so that I want to build trust, right? And if we're not paying accurately, then we're going to lose a lot of trust, and that's important that we have that trust factor. And so not only that the amounts are correct, but they're paid on time. And that's something that Bob has repeated time and time again to me, that we need to make sure that we're paying on time, correctly, accurately. And so that's kind of been something, a big focus for me, to make sure that I do. Other than that, we have independent contractors that we have working for us, that I pay, any purchases that are made for the business, receipts all flow to me, for reporting purposes. I do work with our tax, a tax person, to make sure that our books are accurate, and what we report to the IRS is accurate,
But you also
taxes are paid.
You also issue all of the 1099s for all the ICMs. You're the one who helps to resolve any commission concerns that they may have. You're the person that customer service turns to when they go, hey, can you verify that this commission's paid? Meaning that you're the one who's responsible to make sure all the direct deposits are going in on time, that everybody is getting the amount they expect. So that's all in your purview.
Right. Yep. If it has to do with money, it flows through here.
Awesome. Well, I know that I feel just it's an absolute pleasure to work with you on a day-to-day basis the way that we do. But the best part is I know that ICMs across the nation can't even begin to understand how much you impact their lives. And those that do are just so grateful to you and for what you do and for how you do it. The way that you ethically and what's right, detailedly, what's a better word for that?
I like detailedly.
Detailedly. Really, obviously, I'm the wordsmith here.
Yeah, it's yeah.
Anyway,
I feel like everybody knows. They know what you mean.
And you know what? That's the real trick to communications, right?
That's the point
Just
of words.
making sure that the other team knows what you're saying. Anyway, but the massive amount of work and dedication that you put forth, not on just behalf of the company, but really going above and beyond to serve the individual ICM is phenomenal. So thank you for who you are, for how you are, and for everything that you do. That's awesome.
Yep. Thank you, Dano.
Hey,
you
betcha. Appreciate it, guys.
People probably won't see or know or even hear about all of the times when you're on vacation and you're still making commissions happen or whatever, and making sure people get paid on time. That's a big one. We feel strongly people should be paid on time, and you both are kind of involved in that process. So, thank you to both of you.
Oh, thank you, Matt.
You bet, man.
I feel like Little family hug coming on here. Anyway, Dano, thanks for being our guest on this amazing podcast. You're a freaking rock star, and we love you. Thank you for everything that you do. I want to give a shout out to Mr. Aaron Peterson as our line producer, and also to Mr. Matt Snyder, my illustrious co-host.
Thank you, Jay.
Renatus rocks.